Hello viewers, well lots of new racing news happening this week to catch up on. First, let's take a look at the RFactor 2 upcoming Formula 2 cars and see them in action. Okay, so here we are then on the starting grid, away to go. And immediately, I'm just struck by it, visually it's looking a bit more bold now than it was looking earlier. It's always improving piece by piece, just very small details. Really nice feeling, intensity of speed. I love Formula cars. That's the first thing that strikes me when I see a video like this, is just the feeling of speed, the grip, how it's working, how the AI is working here as well. Still at an early stage. Will RFactor 2 ever be completed? Well, I think it's always going to be a long period, but ultimately they're working very hard on the physics beneath the surface and developing those to the maximum before really working on the graphical details, the cherry on top, as it were. So around those first few corners, jostling for position, a lot of driver head movement here. This isn't something I'm necessarily too keen on myself. I'm sure you can dial that down in the options. I've seen that on a few videos. It's not always my bag. I always like to think, well, yes, the car might be vibrating, but my vision is steady, whatever's happening, even if there's a lot of vibration going through my body. Coming up, slipstreaming, unable to make it through on the braking point, covering on the inside, the car in front there, wanting to hit those apexes and get smoothly on the power. Now, big notes here people are mentioning is the turbo sound, which is unmissable. It's been toned down a bit apparently since this video was produced, because it is a little bit loud, the actual whistle there. As I saw somebody saying in the comments on the image space page, wind is something that you hear a lot of, and I think that's something that racing drivers don't mention very often, is the wind. The first thing you notice is not the car sound, it's the wind that's blowing at you. And it's not until you hit a braking point that you suddenly, everything goes silent for a second. So there's all this noise when you accelerate from the wind and everything else battering you, and then the silence under braking when you feel it hitting you in the chest. It's a really powerful feeling. I always say that the first time you go out in a racing car, you go over that pit line and you step on it, and that's the moment when you feel that initial acceleration go through your body. Best example I can give to anyone watching is if you're in an aeroplane and there's some turbulence and the plane drops a few thousand feet, you feel that almost horrible feeling first goes through your body, and that's kind of what it's like for the G-force the first time you feel it when you accelerate out the pits. But then your body quickly acclimatizes itself to it. So certainly fast and furious. I love the fast furious intensity of it all. Really nice sort of feeling of speed. As I say, lots of little details here and there that are constantly improving, and I look forward to seeing the videos on the web when you guys will get the chance for your hands-on, getting your feedback on it. I know I've seen the earlier videos where this is being tested in a simulation, drivers giving their feedback. I think it's important to have real driver feedback to get something that resembles real life. I think a lot of people play simulations and they immediately think something should handle a certain way, but perceived handling is often different from the real thing in terms of feedback on the wheel and what you're getting from the wheel. I think that's the big difference really, is that obviously real racing drivers are using the feel of the car, whereas in playing simulation it's much more visual, so you need a lot more back visually from how a car's moving about and perceived braking zones, everything else, and tyre temperature. And you can really feel the grip when you're turning in, and when you can get on the power nice and early, not wanting to rinse those tyres out straight away. So this is the Palm Beach circuit. It's not one I've actually driven on myself before. My favourite word, as somebody noticed, is undulation is one of my favourite words. Not much undulation in this circuit, has to be said. I look forward to this being tested on a range of circuits. And you can see it's quite a field there as well, jostling for position, competitive driving. Looking for a way past, unable to find it, weaving. Not a nice place to be. There's going to be no room there surely. The AI moves aside, lets him through, and now committed on the braking. Has to be done. You have to commit at that point, and then hope everybody's sensible round the corner. So obviously this is still a work in progress version, still lots to look forward to. I'll be hopefully doing more and more on RFactor as the months go by. Certainly one of my big plans for 2013. Not everything planned went out the way 2012 was planned, but certainly we've learnt a lot this year, and I think next year will be much more structured, though we are always looking for new people to get involved on the channel. If you are based in London and you're over 18 and you'd like to get involved in what we do here, do send me a PM on YouTube, because I'm always looking for new people to help out. Play some of the new racing games, give us some feedback, make some videos. So ran these final few corners of this lap. It's been wonderful, it's been intense, it looks like a lot of fun. I really want to drive it after seeing this video, and I want to do lots and lots of laps. If only the F1 game had this intensity to it when you were playing, this feeling. It does feel terribly sterile in comparison. There is a certain intensity of being in the cockpit here. It looks great. I should imagine in a D-box or something like that. Feels absolutely amazing. But that's it from this RFactor 2 video. Well, certainly at this stage, looking like good fun. Hopefully we'll have some more on RFactor 2 in the next couple of months as well. And eventually I'll be doing some gameplay on that, as well as testing out other bits and pieces. But that's it from me for now in this video. We're going to have a few more coming up in the next couple of days, catching up on everything else that's going on in the world of racing. As ever, more soon.